What it do, man? It's 420 Boxing Network. You already know what it is. Let's get right off into this video. So Leonard Ellerbe goes off on Twitter about Keith Thurman fighting his fighter, Gervonta Tank Davis. Leonard Ellerbe goes on to say, quote, Tank Davis is not a 147-pound fighter. And I like Keith Thurman. He's a guy that I respect. He can fight his ass off. But that's a fight that I will make in 2 seconds. Tank will knock him the fuck out. And if Keith Thurman really want to make that fight, it's only a phone call away. He'll make that fight in 2 seconds, is what he said. End quote. So, what I think of this is, Leonard Ellerbe he's doing what he's supposed to do, and that's promoting his fighter. He's doing what he's supposed to do, and he's promoting his fighter. But you can't say these things. You can't say these things. You have to stand on them. You can't say these things if you're not going to stand on them. So if Keith Thurman comes and say, hey, that's a fight I want to make. Let's make it happen right now. You got to be willing to make that, because you already said to the public you're willing to make that fight. But how I see that fight going, I don't think Leonard Ellerbe wants to make that fight. To be honest, I feel like Leonard Ellerbe is saying this because he knows that Keith Thurman don't really want to fight Gervonta Davis. His sights is not on Gervonta. You know what I mean? Gervonta is a little guy. Keith Thurman would not. If Keith Thurman just came out like, oh, I want to fight Gervonta Davis, they'd be like, why you want to fight the guy at 40 or 35? You know what I mean? Coming up from 30, like, what's up with that? But Keith Thurman responds and said that he believes that Ellerbe is saying this because, you know, maybe he lost to Pacquiao, or, you know, or he believes that Gervonta could move up in weight because Pacquiao moved up in weight, Floyd Mayweather moved up in weight, all these other lightweights moved up to 47. Maybe that's why he believes that, you know what I mean, it's just easy, like you could just jump up and win. But I'm going to tell you guys right now that that's not no easy fight for Gervonta Tank Davis, how Leonard Ellerbe is trying to make it seem. See, they know that your last image of Keith Thurman is him getting beat by Manny Pacquiao, and he got dropped in like the 2nd round, I believe. So he's using that. Like, he's like, oh, if that was Tank Davis, he probably would have knocked him out. But you have to break things down on a fight by fight. Like I tell you guys, it's style versus style. Let's just be real. Keith Thurman has the advantage in this. If they ever fight, if Keith Thurman ever fights Gervonta Davis, he has the advantage. Keith Thurman said he's going to sit back. He don't know if he want to fight Gervonta. He really want Earl. The winner of Earl versus Pacquiao. So, you know, he don't really set his sights on Gervonta Davis. But if they ever was to fight, just think about it. Keith Thurman has fought top guys at welterweight. He's fought the Sean Porters and the Danny Garcias. You know what I mean? Top guys. Tank Davis ain't never fought a top. They still have problem with guys Tank Davis fought in his own division. So how you gonna move up to a new division and just holler about you gonna beat guys who was champions there? You know what I mean? And what I want to say about that Pacquiao fight with Keith Thurman, y'all have to understand what y'all was looking at. Keith Thurman got dropped, like I said, in the 2nd round of that fight, but he fought hard and ended up losing a split decision. That's not easy to do, especially against a veteran like Pacquiao, an experienced fighter. You know what I mean? So that's not a that fight is not a knock on Keith Thurman to me. It's a plus for Pacquiao, yes, but it's not a knock on Keith Thurman because He got caught early, which it can happen to anybody. Any fighter can get caught. Pacquiao's got caught before. But he got back up and he fought. And he won a lot of rounds after that. He won a few rounds after that. Enough to make it a split decision. So, let's not act like Keith Thurman is some type of scrub. Or some lightweight or some easy way. Because that's not the case. And y'all keep talking about the power. Do y'all... Keith Thurman's nickname is One Time. For a reason. Because he's a big puncher too. Gervonta Davis ain't the only guy that hit hard in boxing. Y'all got to stop that, man. Everybody who hit hard, y'all say they going to knock everybody out. Keith Thurman had to learn that himself. Man, you ain't about to knock everybody out, especially at this top level. If Gervonta Davis go up to 47, he start knocking out Keith Thurmans and Danny's and Porter, he start knocking them out. Now that's big. That's amazing. I don't think he can do that. And I love Tank. Tank is one of my favorite fighters right now. But the talk of Tank going at 47, knocking shit out, it just, come on, man. The higher you get in weight, the more they can absorb your punches. And I'm not saying he's not going to carry his weight, his punching power up there, because he is. More times than not, but come on, man. When you talking about fighting an elite at 47, Keith Thurman is one of them ones at 47. Is he not? He one of them ones. You can't just come up there and say he gonna knock him out and we'll make that fight in 2 seconds. And come on, man. Come on, man. And then you have to realize Keith Thurman is bigger than Gervonta. Gervonta is an inside fighter. So he's going to fight in the inside against Keith Thurman. You know what that fight reminds me of? Tank Davis versus Keith Thurman reminds me of Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez. That's what that fight will remind me of. How I had that fight going in my head is similar to that fight. You know what I mean? Lomachenko was a smaller guy who fought on the inside. Teofimo was the bigger fighter who likes to go counter with big shots. And that's all I see this fight doing. Gervonta Davis. He's going to be trying to get in the inside. But as long as Keith Thurman uses his jab, and he has a good jab, he has a good, heavy, strong jab, he's going to be honest, if that fight was announced today, I would have Keith Thurman winning that fight. I'm sorry. Now, I'm not saying that Gervonta Davis can't win the fight. He can win the fight. He can. But if I'm a betting man, I have to put my money on it. I'm going to go with the bigger fighter. The bigger experienced fighter. He's more experienced than Tank Davis. Fought the better opposition than Tank Davis. He's bigger than Tank Davis. Come on, man. I would go with that guy if I had to put my money down. But of course, Leonard's going to make it seem like it's a wipeout, drag-out fight. Come on, man. I'm going to just say this. Who y'all think is the better fighter right now? Gamboa or Keith Thurman? Who y'all think is the better fighter right now? Mario Barrios, or Keith Thurman? You have to think, man. Y'all have to be unbiased when y'all judging this. You see what I'm saying? Look at the physical. Look at the physical aspect. Look at the mental aspect. And then look at the experience. Keith Thurman ain't no quitter. You see him get up against Pacquiao. You seen him hurt to the body against a couple fighters. Collazo, I believe it was. Southpaw, slick, awkward guy. Hurt him to the body. Collazo's a great body puncher. But what Keith Thurman do? He bit down, never went down, and end up winning the fight. So if you telling me that Tank Davis gonna come and just drag him out like that, I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I have to see it to believe it. I have to see that to believe it, man. I ain't lying. Yeah, so Leonard Ellerbe, he just promoting his fighter. That's what he's supposed to do. You know what I mean? But I want to know why he had to put the extras on it. That's the part I want to see. Like, what's that about? We'll make that fight in 2 seconds and he didn't knock him out. He could have just said, we'll make that fight. He could have kept it respectful. He said he was going to knock him the fuck out, is what he said. Nah, Ellerbe, you can't do that, fam. You can't do that, fam. And then Keith Thurman, no, he said that that's a fight he has to sit back. They asked him about fighting Tank Davis, and Keith Thurman said that that's a fight that he has to sit back and analyze. He has to analyze if he want to take that fight. He says he know that he'll be the bigger man. You know what I mean? But that's a fight he has to analyze. But if it was up to me, if I was Keith Thurman advisors, if I was Keith Thurman advisor, I would advise him to fight. Go make that phone call right now. Don't worry about Earl and Manny Pacquiao. They got a fight coming up. Don't worry about them right now. If you want a good comeback fight, go fight Tank Davis. I feel like Keith Thurman should go fight Tank Davis because you got the advantage as the bigger guy. He's coming to your weight class. It's a guy that you can beat, possibly. And if you beat Tank Davis, Keith Thurman's a big star. A bigger star. If Keith Thurman goes and knocks out, or even just beat Gervonta Davis, he stopped Gervonta Davis's train roll. He been rolling over everybody, and Keith Thurman come stop that. He's going to be a big pay-per-view star. The fight with Tank would be on pay-per-view. That's a pay-per-view fight. Tank Davis versus Keith Thurman. So I feel like Thurman needs to go. He needs to get on the phone with Al Heyman. Call Al. Tell Al, hey, you heard this guy. Leonard Ellerbe said he can make this fight in 2 seconds. Let me get that fight. Work that money out and go get your win, Keith. Go get your win if you can. Because Gervonta Davis, what we all know is that he hits hard. He can knock any. Now, I'm not saying he can't knock Keith Thurman out. He can. But it ain't going to be easy. And Keith Thurman can knock him out. Keith Thurman hits hard too, one time. And he punches in combination. I think Tank got the speed advantage. He has the speed advantage. But, nah, man. I think Keith Thurman would be too tough and too gritty for him. In my opinion, man. But you already know what it is. 420 Boxing Network. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit me in the comments and let me know who y'all got. Do y'all got Tank Davis or do y'all got Keith Thurman? Who y'all got winning that, man? I'm out.